Man, oh man, Spirit has had a lot to say today. And I think too, they did this because my internet's not working today. I'm not really sure why. And I was going to do all this other stuff today. And then Spirit today is honestly like, nope, you're not doing that. And even before I turned the camera on, they had me shuffle the deck and immediately bring through a message before I even turned the camera on, before I even was like ready remotely. They were like, no, you need to change the battery, you need to do this, but don't forget to shuffle the deck first. So I really feel like that's telling of like this energy of like Spirit is really there for you guys. Spirit is there and they're talking to you in this collective. You know it. You know it. The very first card that came out was Scavenge. And the first thing I heard when this card came out is that this collective has been scavenging for other people's approval for far too long. And enough is enough. You've been looking to be validated by all the wrong people for far too long, and you're growing out of that. You're moving out of that transition. We're experiencing growth. This collective is done. You're not meant to be looking for other people's approval. If anything, other people should be looking to you for advice and should be saying if what they're doing is aligning with you, not the other way around. This collective has been looking for this energy that's not aligned. They've been listening to it. You've been in your head too much. You haven't been listening to Spirit. And Spirit's been talking. Spirit has been a chatterbox, let me tell you. They have been talking, and you've been closed off. You've been closed off. That's changing. You've got people, this collective, y'all, right out the gate. This collective, you've got people. This curiosity card, you've got people who are watching. They're watching you. They're watching what you're doing. They're watching the actions you're making. They're watching the choices you're making. They're watching from the sidelines. They're really curious. They want to be in the know. They're eavesdropping. They want to know. They want to know. They've been watching. Because now that you're working on setting boundaries with people, because now you're no longer looking for validation from them anymore. You're working on only looking into yourself, only trusting yourself, opening yourself up to that more. Okay, you're not looking to these people anymore. Well, now they want to know. See, before you were telling these people, you were telling them what was going on, but now you've set boundaries. You're working on setting boundaries, this collective is. So now they're really interested. Okay, this crow is really standing out. Kind of sneaking in. Okay, sneaking around the door. Looking at the boots, looking at what's going on. Oh, what are you doing here? What's going on here? That's the energy that this collective needs to watch out for. You've got people that are doing that. You've got people, they're observing you from afar. They're observing you from afar and they're trying to make it as if they don't care, and they're watching your every single fucking move. They're watching everything. They're listening to everything. They want to know. They want to know what your secret is. They want to know what your secret is to getting through the ish you've gone through. They want to know what the secret is to doing what you've done. They want to know the secret to being positive and holding space and having the energy, the aura that you have, because the energy that this collective has, you guys are really strong. You have a really strong energy. You've got a really strong vibe. This collective has this really strong energy coming through here. And there's really this message here. Yeah, they think it was all luck. Oh, it was just luck. You just did this through luck. You just did this. You just got all this, the money, the savings, the success, the growth. Oh, it's all luck. That's been the narrative. There's been people that have been painting this for you. They've been painting this narrative. They've been painting this idea, this sense. I'm actually going to move this camera. Hold on, guys. Sorry. I'm just going to move this, if I can, down slightly. Just like that. That's it. Sorry. They've been working on creating distractions. That was a distraction there. Someone wanted to distract from this, from what I was saying about them spreading it around. These people who are talking, They're talking, they're blasting it from the rooftops. See this crow here? They're on the tree, they're talking your ish to everyone. Okay? Oh, the reason you are where you are, it's because of luck. It's because you're rich. You're a trust fund baby. It's not because of luck. It's because you worked your ass off. You worked your off. You worked it off. They don't even know. They would never do the amount of work that you do. I'm hearing 2, 3, 4, 5 jobs for some of you. You guys did not get to where you are because it was easy, because you were given a nice, neat deck of cards. You guys struggled. This collective did not have an easy life. You did not come there through all of this joy and happiness. You guys went through it. And that's not to say that you guys didn't have luck. We've got luck on the bottom again. Y'all, you guys have been watching me shuffle. We have luck on the bottom again. Again. This is the narrative. The narrative. Oh, it's just been luck. It's just been luck. It's just been luck. That's what they're trying. That's there. You've got people. You've got people. And you've got people who know, and they're not saying fuck all. They're not saying anything. You see all these birds here? They know. They know. They see this person, but they're not stopping them. They're not stopping them. They're not correcting them when they're saying, oh, it was just luck. It was just luck that caused you to get where you are. It was just luck that brought you here. It's just luck. You just got lucky. You just got lucky in your partnership. You just got lucky in your relationship. You just got lucky in saving that money. You just got lucky. That's all it is. You just got lucky. You just got lucky. Wasn't luck at all. It was not luck at all. Risk. Yeah. You guys took risks. You took risks that this collective took risks. That you have these people who are watching and are watching hard and are trying to figure out your secret. And you took risks that these people could not even dream of in a million years. They could never imagine themselves taking those risks. Because these people that are watching you from fear. They're watching out of jealousy. They're watching out of envy. They're not watching out of admiration. And it's really interesting because as I'm saying this, I'm being reminded that envy and jealousy is a form of admiration. It's a negative form of admiration, but it is still a form of admiration. This collective took risks. Yeah, we've also got battle. You guys went through it. We have anomaly also on the bottom of the deck because you guys are not the norm. You guys are not the norm. You guys are the anomaly. Why am I hearing that this collective wasn't supposed to survive? You weren't supposed to survive. You weren't supposed to survive the that you went through. You weren't supposed to make it. You weren't supposed to not just make. You weren't not. Sorry, they're showing me this so fast. I'm actually. Oh, okay, hold on. I'm actually getting a little bit of anxiety because they're showing me, they're giving it to me so fast. Some of you might also struggle with anxiety. When Spirit's trying to communicate with you, it might come through as anxiety. They're trying to show it to me. They're showing it to me so fast. You guys are the anomaly because you survived that other people cannot possibly understand how you did. You went through ish that other people can't even imagine how you got through there, how you did it. And these people, they're the first ones to judge you. They're the first ones to be peeking around. They're the first ones to be listening at the window. They're the first ones to listen at the door. Oh, what is she saying? What is he saying? What are they doing? What are they talking about? What are they saying? I want to know. I want to know. I want to know. They're not telling me anything anymore. Anything they tell me really isn't anything. Okay, we've got the line again. You see these birds up here again? You guys were in a battle. Guys, this person who is all up in your grill, they are all up in your fucking business. You know, they're there and they're trying to find out everything that you're doing. They're trying to find out all that you're up to and what it is that you're doing and how you're doing it. And you've got these people who aren't saying shh. Those people are almost the biggest traitors. These people here that are just on the lines, and they know what's going on. They see it, but they're not helping you. They're not coming to defend you. This is not where I thought this reading was going. I'm not gonna lie. When this reading started, I did not think it was going in this direction. But here we are. Spirit runs the readings, and this is what they're saying. And again, you see all these crows judging because you don't fit the mold. You don't fit that mold. You don't fit what it is that they think should have happened. You don't fit what they think should have occurred. You don't fit that. You don't fit the traditional. You guys probably had, I'm hearing mixed relationships or mixed upbringing. Okay. And some of you also, I'm hearing, didn't have a traditional life growing up. Okay. Some of you really did not have a traditional life growing up, and that's throwing these people off because they can't imagine it. Okay, that's where the gaslighting's coming in. The gaslighting, the people who are saying that you're faking, you're illegitimate, that never happened. It's coming through. Okay, and that's part of the battle. Gaslighting, manipulation. People that tried to F with your mind. They tried to F with your story. They tried to tell you who you are. They tried to tell you what you went through. They tried to tell you who you were, what you were doing. Okay, it's the same people, by the way. That person who's eavesdropping, that person who's looking, that person who's watching your every move, who wants to know, oh, you're not telling me anything anymore. Someone might have been told that recently by someone. You're not telling me anything anymore. They're angry because you're not telling them anything anymore. Because you set those boundaries. They're not liking it. Okay, conflicts, disputes, some of these you're not even there for. You've got people that are fighting for you, you don't even know. You've got people that are standing up for you, you don't even know. This collective. You've got people that are fighting, that are standing up for you, that you don't even know they're doing that. They're in your corner a lot more than you think they are. But the flip side of that is you also have a lot of people who know what's going on and they're not saying anything. They don't want to get involved. That's what I'm hearing. I don't want to involve myself. I don't want to involve myself. I don't want to do anything. Right? Yeah, upheaval. This collective, the reason you're judged so harshly, the reason that you're gaslit so much is because you question the systems that are in place. You question things in ways that these people, they've never been questioned before. You question their life, you question their decisions, you question their belief structures, their belief systems, you question, and it creates this internal. I'm not even getting that this is like external. I know that this kind of shows more of like this battle going on, but from a different angle. Actually, as I'm looking at this, it almost shows it. Yeah, it does show it from a different angle, honestly. Did I say almostly? I meant honestly. You know, it does kind of show the battle from a different angle, in a sense. Different circumstance. It's really interesting. You guys are creating, you question things in such a way. And people don't like it. People aren't liking that you question things. People aren't liking you're questioning the system. They're not liking that you're questioning the way things have always been. You're questioning the way things have always been, and that's not okay. Why are you doing that? They've always been that way. What's the problem with it? It's just been like that. What are you doing questioning that? It's just been like that. It's always been like that. Why are you questioning that? You're turning people's lives unknowingly upside down. Just because you're questioning things, just because you're there, just because you're being yourself. Your presence in spaces is causing anxiety and emotional upheavals with people, because they know your power. They know what you've been through. They know what you've done. They know what it is that they've been trying to control and manipulate. And they know that it's not working. They know it's not working. They know that it hasn't worked for a while. They just don't want to admit it. This collective, you have this energy of more go with the flow, and the energy of the people that are talking smack about you. They're not even really talking smack about you. They're literally trying to gaslight you. It's different. There's talking smack and then there's gaslighting. And this collective, you guys have been gaslit. You've had people who've tried to tell you your story. You've had people who've tried to tell you who you are, where you're from, what your name is, where you've been, when your birthday is. They've tried to recreate you. They've tried to recreate this version of you because they can't deal with the truth. Because that means they have to question things. That means they have to question things. They have to question what you're doing. They've got to question these different things. That's interesting. They've got to question these different aspects of their life. Okay? We've got preparation coming up. I'm honestly hearing that this should have broken you, but it didn't. This preparation card is giving me this sense of you were prepared before you even entered this life to handle the gaslighting that was going to come to you in this life. You just had, since you were a child, you just had this way about you that wasn't the same as the rest of society. You just had this way of dealing with people, this way of understanding situations. This collective is really empathic. Really empathic. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's where the anxiety is coming from. Actually, I'm just realizing that now as I say that. The anxiety is coming from your empathic ability. I have this not so great always view of empaths. I think that the term empath does get used too much. I think that it does get overused. It does get sorry, I was just checking something on my phone. That might be indicative of something for someone. But the term empath, distractions, right? The term empath, I do feel like does get used too much. And so I don't like to use that term frivolously, I'm going to say. I don't like to use that term frivolously. But this collective, you guys feel it. And I mean, you know when you walk into that room what's been said. You feel it. Some of you might connect with land spirits or have the ability to connect with land spirits, even if you haven't done that already. Some of you naturally connect with land energy, which I do think is different than being empathic, although some people disagree with me. Some of you connect with land energy, and that's screwing things up. Okay? I don't want to say it's screwing things up. Why did I say it's screwing things up? Yo, hold on here. Why did I say it's screwing things up? That's not what I wanted to say. It's not screwing things up. That is what they think. Hold on here. This is what it is. Spirit works weird sometimes. Spirit's been funky with my readings. I didn't used to do readings like this. If you look at my older readings, they didn't used to be like this. It's not that you're screwing things up. That's what these people, that's the energy they're trying to say. That's what they're putting out there. Because you are so empathic and you know and you see the truth, you can see right through the facade. You see through the gaslighting. You know your truth. You know your authenticity. It is screwing these people up. That is the energy. And they're trying to put that in your mouth. I'm not accepting that energy. I am not accepting that energy. I got this card soar. Because you soar above all this ish. You soar above it all. It might not be easy for you. There's turbulence, but you soar above it all. You're better than that. Some of you are walking away from people, from situations. Okay? Situationships, I'm hearing. But you've had enough. Right? You soar over. You don't even pay it mind. This collective, it's been going on for so long that you're not even paying it mind. That's part of the problem. So when you try to gaslight someone consistently for such a long time, there reaches a point where that person becomes immune to it. And that's the point that this collective's kind of at. You're at the point where you're basically immune to it. You know they're trying to put words in your mouth. You know that they're trying to talkish. You know that they're trying to silence you. Yeah, they're trying to shut you up. They're trying to shut you down. They're trying to stop you from speaking. They're trying to stop you from speaking your truth. They're trying to stop you from speaking the truth in general, because they know that they have not been truthful. They know that they have not been legitimate. They know that they have not. It's funny, I keep shuffling this deck and sword keeps being on the bottom of the deck. Same card. They know. They know. Yeah, we've got wrath coming out because these people are pissed. They're pissed. They're pissed that they didn't succeed. They're pissed that they didn't get it up the wall over your eyes, is what I'm hearing. They didn't pull the wool over your eyes, and boy, are they not fucking happy about it. They've been trying and trying and trying to go about, and they've been trying to silence you. They've been trying to shut you down, and you've just kept going. You've just kept going because this collective, you know that there's nothing that you can't handle. This collective, you've been through so much crap that there is nothing that you can't handle. And there is this confidence, I think I want to say, that this collective has in your personal ability, your ability to survive, your ability to find a way to thrive, your ability to make it work against all odds, to make it work against everything. We have an insight on the bottom of the deck because you guys see things and you have insights that these people could only dream of, and they don't know where you got it. They don't know how you got it. They don't know what you went through to get it. That's actually, last part is really important. They don't know what you went through to get the insights you have. To get the insights you have, they don't know what you went through to do that. They don't know what you went through. They don't know what you had to experience. They don't know your life experience. They don't know the danger at points that some of you were in. These people had cushiony lives in comparison to you, in comparison to this collective. That's not to say they always had it easy. No one always has it easy 24/7. But compared to you, there's this saying, walk a mile in each other's shoes. They wouldn't have lasted 1 fucking mile in your shoes. They would not have lasted. They would not have for 1 second managed in your shoes. Not for 1 second would they have managed to do what they went through. If you did to them what they did to you, they would not still be here. They wouldn't. They would not be here. They would not be thriving. They would not be doing things that you're doing. They would not be successful. However success is to you. Success isn't always monetary, by the way. Success is sometimes your existence. Sometimes success is your understanding. Sometimes success is how things come to be. Your relationships. Okay? They would not. For 1 second, they would not have lasted. Okay, we've got fear at the bottom of the deck because that's what they're speaking out on. Here's what's really interesting about this card. I'm just going to pull it off to make it easier. Again, do we see the line of birds at the top here? Okay, the same people. They watched the battle, and they're watching this person. They're trying to shut you up because they don't like this. They are speaking from a place of fear. They're speaking-ish from a place of fear. They're speaking out from a place of fear. Because they fear your power. They fear not just your power. They fear the ability that you had against all odds to make the decisions that you made, to have the failures that you had, and to still continue to move forward with your dreams, to still continue to fight for what you think is right, to still continue to do what you're doing, even though they don't necessarily agree with that, because they make their decisions off of fear. They make decisions off of fear. You make decisions despite the fear. There's a huge difference there of making a decision because you're in fear and making a decision despite the fear that you have. You do decisions despite the fear. You make decisions despite the fear that you have, and they don't know how to deal with that. They really don't. They don't know what to do with it. They don't know how to manage it. They don't know what that life is like. So what did they do? They squawk and they squawk and they squawk to whoever will listen. To whoever's going to listen. These people play the victim, I hear. They're really good at playing victim. They're really good. Sorry, my blood sugar's a little bit low, so the card is my hand shaking slightly. They're really good at playing the victim. Really good at playing the victim. They're really good at ensuring that people, to the best of their ability, have a completely different idea of you and how you operate and what you say and why you say what you say than what actually happened. They work hard. These people work hard because to make decisions that are not based in fear challenges them. And these people cannot deal with being challenged. These people in your life that are against you, that are talking ish about you, they cannot deal with you challenging them. They cannot deal with you challenging our goals. They cannot deal with you challenging who it is. We have bond. Okay, 2 things coming through here immediately. The first thing that I heard when I saw this card is that this collective's bond with spirit is unparalleled. Your relationship with God is a relationship that no one else can possibly comprehend. Because you've seen God. You've met God in the darkest corners of your life. Some of you don't call it God. I'm going to use the term God because they're telling me to use the term God, and that's what I'm going with. You guys have met God. You've met God in the darkest pits of hell. And I mean, this collective has gone through hell. You have been through it. You did not have a nice, light and fluffy life. Okay, you hit 12, 13, 14 years old, and boy, the ish that got laid on you, thing after thing after thing after thing after thing, it's enough to break anyone down. It didn't break you. What they don't understand is that you were born and ingrained with this unbreakable God, with your creator. This unbreakable God. That's interesting. That's not what I meant to say. This unbreakable God. That's true. God's unbreakable. I meant this unbreakable connection and spirit with your creator. That's what I meant to say. You were imbued with this unbreakable God. I'm going to leave that. Take that for what you will. Take that for what you will. This unbreakable God. Wow. That's powerful. This is a heavy reading. I can feel this all through my body. This is heavy. This collective will feel it most in their chest, in their stomach, in their back. That's where you're going to feel it. By the way, I said that there was 2 things that came up and I only shared one. Sorry. The second thing that came up here is some of you are in divine relationships. And those relationships, those bonds are not going to be broken. Those relationships, they're not meant to be broken. They were divinely orchestrated. They've divinely come together. If you're in a toxic relationship, this obviously is not going to apply. A divine relationship, you are going to know if this applies to you, if this applies to your relationship. These are divine relationships. Been through it. It's been cracked. The heart's been cracked, but it ain't broken. There might have been cracks throughout the years in your relationship. And yes, it's years. It's not months. It's not weeks. It's not even like 2 years. I'm talking years. These relationships are long relationships. Some of you, this is platonic, but I'm really getting the vibe that this is more romantic. Okay. Soulmates, life partners, right? Those bonds, those relationships, no one knew how much those relationships and that bond you had, no one knew how strong that bond you had with God is. No one knows how strong your relationship with your partner actually is. They think they know. They have no clue. No one knows how strong of an unbreakable spiritual faith you have. They don't understand how you can have, after all that you've been through, how you can have so much strength and faith in the divine, in God, in what God does. They don't understand how you have that. They don't know. They don't get it. This is heavy. Honestly, this is a heavy energy. A heavy energy. You're going to know if this is for you. You're going to know if this is for you. This has been really an energy of validation for most of you. If you want to know if you're over this, if you want to know if you're done with this area of your life, you're transitioning out of it. That's what I'm hearing, is you're transitioning out of it. You're transitioning out of this area of your life right now. Okay? You're transitioning. We've got observation again. They're going to keep watching you. Do what you need to do. That's what I'm hearing. You need to do what you need to do because they're going to keep watching you no matter what. I'm going to see if I can get some other cards. Something that's not so heavy. Something to move you forward. I sometimes feel like this collective might feel like they're stuck. And I don't even know if that you're stuck because you're stuck or if you're stuck because you're just so in tune with the energies of everyone and the energies of the world. Okay, we've got 555 coming up. Okay, so that might be a sign for some of you. Watch out for those numbers. That's spirit talking to you. 555 is also the number of change. It's also the number of adventure, freedom, movement. Some of you might be moving when that number comes up. What fears are you succumbing to? What is holding you back? And what steps can you take today to break through? The difference between the fear that these people who are judging you have and the fear that you might occasionally possess is that you have a system, or you're in the process of developing a system where you can break through those fears. Where you can change that. Where you don't allow those fears. You recognize the fears. You start noticing when there's a pattern, when there's a cycle. This collective is really good at noticing when there's a cycle, and you don't let those fears stop you. You don't let those fears hold you back. You say, okay, I'm making this decision out of fear. What do I need to do to change that? That's what this collective does. You're breaking out of that cycle. 555, for me, whenever I see 555, it's a really good omen. Okay, we've got partnerships, collaboration, and teamwork. And we've got cleansing, clear all that energetic clutter in your house, home, body, and space. Feng shui that bitch up. Get that old stagnant energy out. It's not serving you. You guys, yeah, you're growing. You're moving. You're moving, that's for sure. Purification, consecration, clearing, grounding, protection. You're moving up and out. You're expanding. That's actually the word I want to use. You're expanding out of this. Out of this. This built your foundation. The lessons you learned from it, more specifically, built your foundation. These people, they're gonna always watch. They're not gonna change. They're not always be watching you. And these people who are bystanders, periodically, they might come in. Periodically, they might fly away. Periodically, they might stand up, but don't have any expectation from them. Don't have any expectation from them. Don't have any expectation that they're going to do something out of the ordinary, that they're going to change all of a sudden. They haven't changed thus far. They're not about to change. They haven't made the effort thus far. They're not about to make the effort, right? They're not about to. You guys are working on something, but you need to stay silent about it. Okay, you need to be quiet about it. It's not meant for people are their self-interest. I keep being drawn to this deck, so I just roll with it. People are there for their own means. They're not there because they want to help you. You guys are surrounded by a lot of people who are around you because they want to take something from you. They have something to gain from you. You know who those people are. This collective, nothing can pull the wool over your eyes. You know who those people are. I'm going to leave it there. This has been long enough. This was very heavy. Very, very heavy. Cut those cords. Cut those cords to the people that are talking shit. Cut those cords to the people that are a little bit too curious, that are watching a little bit too closely, that are trying to pay too much attention. Cut those cords. Get rid of it. It's not serving you. Get it out. It's not serving you. 555 is going to be your spirit message, especially over the next week. Pay attention to where 555 shows up. Okay, that's going to help guide you. It's going to help guide you. And on that note, I'm going to leave this here. Okay, I'm being guided to say God bless, which is not how I normally end a reading, but that's how I'm going to end this one. God bless. You guys need to make sure you keep that unwavering faith. Trust God. Trust yourself. Trust your intuition and your discernment. It's not going to lead you astray. Much love to you all, and I'm going to see you later.